intro, remember? Oh. I got a question for you as you come in the door, though. Do you think that Michael Jordan fans are the best?
I'm a Michael Jordan fan. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. I'm a LeBron James fan. I'm a fan of greats. So I can argue on every side of the coin on all of them.
But
do you think that Michael Jordan fans are the best?
Are they the best?
I thought that intro was never going to fucking end.
Hey, what's up? You guys know the deal. It's your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants, and I want to welcome everybody to another Sunday edition. That's right, guys. You know we're here again, And I got my man AOH with me, the czar of the video footage, and I'm going to be filling in for my man Dart today, guys. And the rest of the crew is not here with us. Hopefully we get my man Speen to come through. Maybe we'll have some other special guest appearances. Who knows? This is a special Super Bowl Sunday edition. And my man AOH, what's up, man?
Good morning. What's up? Holding down the fort. The guy who yells all the time is the moderator today. So I guess everybody's screwed. He's going to yell all he wants to.
I know, guys. You guys are in trouble today, man. If you guys think that I yell a lot, or you're not really, okay with the way that I go out here and do my thing, then today's gonna be hard for you guys to listen to. But we got another great show for you guys as usual, man. You guys know the deal out there. We're gonna set the record straight, man. We're gonna stop the lies. We're gonna stop the narratives, man. Me and AOH, the dynamic duo. And I want to shout out everybody in the chat already. I see a lot of you guys already out there as usual, man. Nemo, LA, Hayden, Phoenix, Monroe, Chris Davis, Leo. I see a lot of you guys in there. Renee, Lou, Michael Knight, Nathaniel Duncan, Ethan 2000, Classic Basketball DVDs, Mary Lewis, Frank B. Yo, Michael, shout out to all you guys, man. Ghetto Pranks, man. Yo, AOH, you seen any of your people out there you want to shout out?
Yeah, I was shouting them up by chatting during that 10-minute intro. He did a good job editing that, but I don't know. I don't know if I can hear Gilbert Arenas' voice every morning. It kind of like.
I know. Oh man. Yo, Story Games, what's good, man? I see you guys already out there. And you know, we have a couple of different topics that we want to talk about today, man. And the overall theme is, you know, the disappointment that we have with the NBA and, you know, the drama and all the crazy things going on, you know, in the trade, you know, the trade deadline and all those kinds of things, man. We want to start off with talking about, you know, load managing and how load managing is still going on in the NBA. It's still prevalent right now in the league. It's one of the big problems right now because it's load managing. It's the star players that continue to load manage. And of course, we're going to start with my man LeBron James and how he load managed last night against the Indiana Pacers. The Los Angeles Lakers were at home. Again, another home game for the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron James is on the sideline in street clothes, you know, hanging out with Luka Doncic. And these are the kinds of things that we're talking about. And go ahead, AOH. I'll let you take it from there.
Can you turn on the chat overlay? There's a little bar that'll allow you to turn on the overlay.
Oh, yeah. How do I do that? Absolutely, man. Oh, goodness.
Well, while you look for that, yeah, I tried to do it, but I can't do it from my end. You know, with that load management, it makes me think about with LeBron James's first 40-point game as a 40-year-old. I started a video about Michael Jordan and LeBron James's first games period as 40-year-olds, and not when they scored 40 as 40-year-olds, but Michael Jordan and LeBron James's first games like that as 40-year-olds. Well, LeBron James, you have to skip a game because LeBron James decided to take a night off. When he turned 40, he decided to celebrate his birthday. So if you go to the game after that, it just so happens to be when Michael Jordan beat up on the Nets. Obviously a much better team than who the Lakers played. But the way that Michael Jordan scored is probably the most important part of that video, whether you focus on whether it was their first game as 40-year-olds or focus on their first game scoring 40 as 40-year-olds. You know, Jordan didn't need to rely on a 3-point line to rack up points in an easy way or carry the ball or commit offensive fouls. And I want to apologize to my viewers because I was completely unaware of that game, and it was on TNT, which means I missed an opportunity to record it on the TNT Overtime app and get all of LeBron James's offensive fouls from that angle. But you know, they had just had the Lakers on TNT, and TNT's barely showing any games at all. So I just assumed that there wasn't going to be enough for a while. What do you know? Like right after that, TNT not just showing a game, but showing the Lakers yet again. So yeah, Mr. Load Management, LeBron James. And again, why is he in games when the Lakers are up by 20, 30? If you're going to turn around and have to sit out another game because of ankle soreness. This is one of the many reasons that we think it's bullshit to see him in their stat padding when they don't need him in there at all. And it's not just him being in there at the end of games. Your stars, if you were up on a team in the first period by 20 or so, you took him out then and you put him back in if you needed to. LeBron James has been playing throughout entire games where the Lakers have been up by 20 the entire game. You look like you stalled out.
I'm sorry, LH. Am I with you still, man?
Sort of. There's a connection issue.
I know my connection's a little bad. Damn. Keep going, AOH. Keep doing your thing, man.
What's happening over there? I just talked for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I heard you.
What do people think? Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's fair for me to say that that's one of many reasons that LeBron James scoring 40 at 40 is ridiculously compared to Michael Jordan, considering I believe that was again Jordan playing every game. You know, those two old man seasons with the Wizards, the only reason he set out was the legitimate knee injury, and then the other season was all 82 games. There was no taking a night off for your birthday or taking a night off for ankle soreness. You know, I did a video.
It isn't AOH.
Yeah.
No, you're hitting it right on the head right now, because these are the things that we're talking about. When you mention the ankle soreness and you mention LeBron James playing against the Golden State Warriors a couple of nights before, you know, going for those 40 points. Like you said, he's in there showboating, doing the shoulder shrug, you know, doing all the classic LeBron James antics. No one's mentioning anything about LeBron James dealing with a sore ankle, or LeBron James aggravating a sore ankle against the Warriors, LeBron James nursing a sore ankle. These injuries just come out of thin air. They're essentially making up things, right? It was the sore foot last couple of seasons. Now it's the sore ankle. And once again, we're talking about soreness keeping you out of games, when you're talking about, I plan on playing the all 82 games this season. And then we talk about the comparisons between what Michael Jordan was doing. And I talked about this in the live stream that I did, man. It's not the same thing. The 40-point games is nowhere near the same. The effort that Michael Jordan was giving on both sides of the ball, you know, he said for all 82 games, 37 minutes a night, is nowhere compared to what LeBron James is doing. This man has been resting all season long.
I'm going to ask people to answer this in the chat. Oh, and by the way, that chat that you have up right now, that's kind of interesting, because those games were like suspicious looking. You know, they don't have Anthony Davis. Luka's not playing. And even with LeBron not playing all of them, the Lakers are just like blowing people out of the water immediately. Come on. What in the hell is happening? Are they being told, like, hey, we want to make sure that everybody knows LeBron didn't need AD, so just don't show up, you know, just let the Lakers score. I mean, how's this? Even if the Lakers are a great team, what the fuck is this 40 points in the first period shit? And that happened 3 out of the last 4. I can't confirm that, but that's what the commenter said. Really? That happened in 3 of the last games?
Well, I know that last night they were beating the Indiana Pacers 44-22 after the first quarter. That was the first quarter score. And the crazy thing is, like we're talking about, these are the Los Angeles Lakers without LeBron James, without Anthony Davis, who they just traded away, we all know, and without Luka Doncic. And they were still up by 22 points in the first quarter against the Indiana Pacers, who had all their players out there. All their players are out there. And this is what we're talking about. These are one of the things that we're going to talk about later on in the show, the inconsistent nature of the NBA this season. And that's why I always laugh when people try to tell me that there are great teams in the NBA right now. Oh, the Boston Celtics are a great team. This team is great. No, there's not. There's no great teams, and all these teams are suspect. You can't count on anybody.
Well, this is the question I'm going to pose. It's A or B, if people want to vote. Is it that the Lakers are so good they don't even need all of these stars, and they're that so good that they can still blow out other NBA teams? Or are the other NBA teams not showing up? I guess there should be a C. Are the other NBA teams legitimately all that bad? Like, if you want to talk about a watered down era, this is an era where you can't even get people on the court.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of the problem. You can't get people on the court, and when the guys are on the court, they're not giving you the full effort. There's no consistency right now in the league. So it's one of those things where, like I said, you turn the TV on, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, look, I post a lot of the screenshots of a lot of the final scores of a lot of these games. Hey, shout to my man Jim, our self-research NBA facts. He's out here in the comments section. Shout to my man Jim. But yeah, I post a screenshot of a lot of these scores, you know, for that reason, to show you that it's not about teams getting blown out. We all know that NBA teams get blown out. There are always bad teams in every era, every NBA season. But when we talk about teams being good and teams that are supposed to be contending teams, these are the teams getting blown out on a nightly basis. Every single night. You never know. It's not just the bad teams. The good teams are getting blown out. And that's what we're talking about.
Yep, exactly. Like, you don't know what to expect night to night. It doesn't even matter who it is. It does not matter who it is. And, I should also address, I think on my last live show, I was talking about not being that impressed with the Butler move for the Warriors. I understand that Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat were an overachieving team. I understand that they overachieved. And I understand that Jimmy Butler was a big part of why they were able to overachieve. But you also understand that this is a Jimmy Butler who is acting like Paul George. And if that's his mentality, I don't think that that's championship mentality. I don't think that's the guy that gets you over the hump. And the size issue is still going to be there. There's just too many teams with absurd size.
Yeah, you mentioned Jimmy Butler, AOH, and we can shift a little bit to a similar situation here when you talk about the mentality of a Jimmy Butler, and that's why I said, remember when the reports with Jimmy Butler first came out, they were saying that Jimmy Butler was refusing to go to Golden State, that he didn't want to go there. So now that he's there, it puts it almost like you said, it's like a hostile work environment or an awkward situation. Hey, we have a couple of supers here. Let's throw my people out here. Let's get some mentions. We got Count Gilroy Graff for a super chat. He says LeBron has mastered the art of load managing on court. He doesn't need a statue in LA. He's already won on defense. Go ahead, AOH. You got something to say yet?
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, and thanks for bringing it back to the load management, because I have another question. Do people think he's actually hurt, or is he just not feel like playing those nights? And see, I don't even think it's necessary. We are so deep into the entitlement now. If in fact they're stating fake injuries just so they have an excuse to sit out, aren't we past that? I mean, these guys are so disgusting and spoiled. Paul George talking about how abused he is that he has to play during All-Star week. just come straight out and say you don't feel like playing, because Stephen A. Smith will come on ESPN and just tell the world that, LeBron James has earned this.
No, you're right. The money.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, AOH. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, it's all right. Cutting me off just doesn't work as well with a delay. Go for it.
Now, I was going to say, Count Gilroy Graff mentions the low managing on court, and that's a big problem. And that's the thing that we talk about. The broadcasters won't mention. So you'll hear someone like Stan Van Gundy talk about, LeBron James diving on the floor for a loose ball, or, LeBron James playing in his 22nd season. But he'll never mention the times when LeBron James is standing around, like my man Count Gilroy says, load managing on the court during plays, literally arguing with referees while the play's going on behind them. Count Gilroy Craft sends another super chat, says, people think he's doing ice in his veins after a wide open three. He's actually pointing at where he sticks the EPO.
That ice in the veins thing, I'll never forget when he went 1 for 9 or something like that, and finally made one and did the ice in his veins. Like that doesn't seem appropriate. But I'll tell you, with LeBron fans, if he has one good night, they do what Shannon Sharp does and immediately be like, oh, look, he's the GOAT. It's just amazing how you can ignore night after night after night of garbage, have a good night and be like, oh, everything's okay. Everything's forgiven. And also forgive the fact that he sits out when he feels like sitting out. I did a video a couple of years ago trying to do an academic analogy. And it's basically like if you and I, Robin, went to med school and I took all of the tests, because you're required to take all of the tests, and you said, I don't feel like taking that test because that one looks too hard, or I didn't study for that one. And the medical board said, oh, okay, that's fine. And at the end, we have the exact same GPA and we both graduate medical school, but you got to skip whatever fucking parts of medical school you wanted to, and you're still a doctor. I mean, that's the absurdity of trying to compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James. LeBron James sits out anything that looks too difficult for him or anytime he doesn't feel 100%. When you go out there and play when you're not 100% and play on both sides of the ball and you're getting your knee drained after games, but you still go and play every single game, that's when you can be impressed that somebody's playing at 40. When someone's playing at 40 and they only play when they want to, and when they are playing, it looks like on-court load management. And you don't even need the on-court load management because the game stops so often now. They're load managing for you. The refs are load managing for you. And each of the commercial breaks are almost 3 minutes long. Man, you're still physically active. 3 minutes is a long effing break, right? I mean, that's almost enough time for you to get cold, much less catch your breath.
Yo, what's up? We got my man Speem in the house. Yo, Speem, what's going on, man? Say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, gentlemen?
What up?
Yo, Speem, we were just talking about the load managing last night, LeBron James, and the overall sentiment. Like we're talking about, just in the comparisons, at 39, 40 years old with Michael Jordan and what he was doing, not load managing essentially.
Well, Austin Reeves had 45 the other night, and somehow that should be like a Hall of Fame game for him. But the bigger story is LeBron not playing, because it's at this point in the season, we all know exactly what it is. He's saving himself up. I don't know if you guys touched on this already, but the conversation about the Lakers all of a sudden pulling it together has already started, but no one's really talking about the fact that they're playing mostly 500, sub 500, or barely above 500 teams.
God, I was going to say, when is the last time they played? When is the last time they played anyone decent at all?
Right. And I feel like
I can't even remember.
That's what. The Knicks, I guess, was a pretty big win. No disrespect.
They did, but they weren't there. The Knicks were not present.
Exactly. But right on cue, it's here we go. While LeBron is taking a break because of his quote unquote injuries, the team is pulling it together right at the trade deadline, miraculously. And I don't know if you guys touched on this already, but the whole trade thing, when the pictures of trades conversations being taken place and all this shady Mission Impossible espionage bullshit over what should be just a one and done trade, just more shadiness on this man's accomplishments.
Cameron,
for real, man.
Cameron, that comment is crazy. Like someone, I mean, none of these people bother to be specific. Can someone tell me how today's game could possibly more physically demanding? Just one. Do we have any LeBroners in here?
I did a video about this a couple of days ago because someone requested me talk about this because they heard the similar kind of argument, online somewhere about the game being more physically demanding on the players today. And somehow, I told you, people are somehow trying to make it as if, this version of Earth is like the hardest version of Earth that we've ever had. I keep telling people this is the softest version of Earth that's been out there. I mean, just think about back in the day, man. Think about when your parents grew up or your grandparents lived in the times that they grew up in. We wouldn't be able to make it in those times. We were not strong enough, man. The people today, their mentality. So, yeah, I've heard that argument before, and it doesn't make any sense. When you talk about the lack of physicality in the game and, how these guys are able to, spread the season out. These guys played a more condensed schedule back in the day. It was actually more physically demanding on those guys.
Johnny, it's been nerfed the past 15 years. Sorry, that's a great comment. My bad, AOH. Go ahead.
It is. I'm sorry. This delay is killing us. Johnny's comment. The reason LeBron set out against the Pacers is because he's going to the Super Bowl. Has nothing to do with his ankle. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. I'm like, why even bother lying at this point? Tell everyone that it's because you're going to go to the Super Bowl, and there aren't going to be any consequences to face. But can you imagine like calling in to work on Friday saying that you're sick, and then them seeing you at a sports game the next day? Would you not get in trouble? Like people who barely get paid anything take their jobs more seriously than these guys who are making enough money to buy countries.
Do you remember?
You know,
Do you remember real quick when he broke protocol during COVID? And there were
Yeah.
14, 15 different excuses as to why it was okay for him to break it, because the nature of the party was outdoors, and the people to infection ratio was under, the lowest it's ever been for someone that's 38 years and older, and all this other bullshit. Like I joke, but the man was literally able to get away with something that was supposed to be on complete lockdown for a bunch of entitled, billionaires to begin with.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people, people are really torn about the pandemic, about how legitimate it was. I mean, people are all over the place with it. But if the rules in place say don't behave this way, and then you go out and behave that way anyway, no matter how you feel about it personally, you set a bad example, and you told everyone else, if you're so-and-so, you don't have to listen.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, whatever side of the fence you're on in terms of the pandemic, at the end of the day, he was given a set of rules that he showed, just like every year, he doesn't have to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are hitting it right on the money right now. Thank you to Johnny Rojas for coming through with the super chat. Yo, shout out to all you guys in the chat already, man. You guys are hitting us with a lot of comments already, man. I see you guys out there. I think we got another super chat here. I'm gonna put it up. Telling YouTubers, this is from Specca Fantasy. Telling YouTubers they're only alive by bitching about LeBron and will be out of jobs after his career is over is like taunting soldiers they're fighting a war, and after that war, they will be useless.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I didn't think about it that way, but I have made fun of this stance by them. They basically just don't want anyone to resist what they're doing because they're making money. They're clearly making money off of LeBron James. I mean, there is a paycheck to be made if you're willing to be a suck up. If you're willing to sound like everyone else and just suck up to LeBron James, you'll get views. But so for any of us that don't want to be like everyone else, to be criticized, I think is kind of hilarious. But if I were to use the war analogy that Spetka did, not only is it like saying that soldiers are worthless after the war, really what these other YouTubers are saying is, don't even go to war. Let us just abuse these other places and spread our dynasty and dominion, and don't do anything about it. And if you put up a resistance, then you're a bad person. God, this delay is crazy.
That's a good point, man. We talk about this all the time. I'm sorry, guys. It must be my connection today that's jacking us up here. I don't know if you guys can hear me when I'm speaking or if I'm breaking up when I'm talking. It's just a delay. I don't know. My connection's not that great right now for some reason. But you're right on the money when you talk about these things, and that's a great comment right there when they're talking about the YouTubers and what we're not going to be able to talk about or XYZ. We must remember it's about setting the record straight. When they're intending to rewrite the history, then that's why we have a job. That's why we'll have a quote unquote job on YouTube, because they're going to continue to rewrite the history. They're going to continue to try to tear down the past errors with the lies and the narratives. So we're always going to be here. We're always going to have a platform to speak because of these kinds of things. I mean, think about all the things they say about Michael Jordan right now. And Michael Jordan hasn't played basketball in many, many years. So when people were probably saying, oh, what are you guys going to have to talk about Michael Jordan when he retires? It seems that they have more to talk about Michael Jordan now that he is retired. So it's never going to stop.
I don't think there is too much of a delay. AOH, I was just processing what you were saying before. If that's why my face looked like frozen and stupid. I was legitimately just thinking about what you were saying. I agree, but I almost feel like comparing this to war is almost giving it too much credit because it shouldn't even matter that much, like in the grand scheme of things, because none of these dudes know we even exist, right? But I think it's fair to say 15, 17 years ago, there were a lot more people that were fans of LeBron than there weren't. But then slowly but surely, as the league starts to cushion things for him and he starts to do stuff that is out of the character that, we were told that he was, all of a sudden people are going to kind of change how they feel about stuff based on, past behaviors, patterns, stuff like that. But for some reason, for LeBron, you're not allowed to do that, even though he's contradicted so much of what he said, and a lot of that pushback comes from the contradictions out of him and his camp. If they were like Kawhi Leonard and his group and just sat there and didn't say anything and just wore New Balances and were quiet, there'd be a lot less hate for the man. But he's the most outspoken person about his legacy, and it's difficult to not want to comment on that. It's like, whenever somebody says, well, all you guys talk about is LeBron. All right, well, how many people you want to, talking to Cisco and Ebert, talking about all you guys do is talk about movies? Neil deGrasse Tyson, all you do is talk about physics. Political commentators, all you guys talk about is politics. It's such a stupid thing to say because you can manipulate it for either side. That's why I really prefer being on the Jordan side, because at least for the most part, I can tell we try to rely more on historical context because we've been there for both. But again, that's my old head about to fall asleep in the middle afternoon self-talking.
Did either of you guys actually see the Lakers-Warriors game? The one that I regret not recording? Because I heard LeBron James was just fucking taking people's heads off and getting away with it.
I only saw the highlights. I'm a casual.
Yeah, good for LeBron, scoring 40 finally in an age where everyone scores 40.
And that's a great segue, AOH, man.
Are you not on cocaine today?
If we think about what I was talking about.
That's what it is.
Are you not on? Sober. Are you not?
He's sober. That's what this is.
Go do a bump and come back.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what the little delay is. That little half-second delay. Not enough bumps yet.
Pull LeBron, go stick a needle in your ass during halftime and come back and run people over.
Because my connection is jacking up my show. It's crazy right now, man. It's throwing off my vibe right now. I can't hit you guys with the same level of energy, man. Because I don't even know if you guys are hearing me, if you guys are seeing me, if any of this kind of stuff, man. I'm always like I'm talking to myself sometimes. So once again, but let's talk about wait, you brought the Jimmy Butler to Golden State Warrior trade, man. Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and talk about that for a second, and
sure.
and let's really get your vibe. What's your sense on that move?
I'm like, the Warriors finally did something, and it's not really what the Warriors needed. I mean, did it make them better? Sure. Jimmy Butler can really ball. How long is he going to want to ball? How long until he bitches about something? This is unfortunately who I now think of Jimmy Butler as. And again, as much as he is a dog, you can't make up for the fact that team is short as shit. That team is just short as shit.
Do you feel like he was rewarded? Because I feel like he's rewarded for his shitty behavior.
It's certainly not punishment. I mean, man, imagine that a teacher, you get in trouble in a classroom and a teacher puts you in timeout or whatever. And instead of having to go to that timeout, you just go to another classroom and fuck around.
I tell you one thing. I didn't think I'd lived long enough to see a Ben Simmons situation. And I didn't think I'd live long enough to see Jimmy Butler be on some sucker shit like this.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, he was always seen as the dog on every team he was on. But then he started buying into the whole, media persona, making his hair a specific way for press conferences and doing the whole passive aggressive thing, wearing the other team's sneakers and all this. And it's just like, I thought you were built different than that. I thought you were, I don't know. I liked him on that roster though. Sort of.
What?
He can be your four. He can be your four.
Oh, I mean, he could be our center. He's about the same height.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys didn't dump Looney yet. All respect to Looney.
Uncut. Warriors failed Steph. Butler, Draymond is like putting TNT next to gas station. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Corny ass the other night.
I know what I saw. I know what I saw from that Warriors game later was Draymond intentionally missing a layup and just throwing it off the backboard right into LeBron's hands.
Yep.
And then getting teed up and carrying on, acting exactly like LeBron. But LeBron turns around and mocks Draymond. And this is exactly why I always dreamed of those two being on the same team, because that friendship would be exposed real fast. And LeBron hey, Draymond, how's LeBron's dick taste now? I mean, I know he has LeBron's dick in his mouth all the time, but it's got to taste a little bit worse. It's got to taste a little bit worse after that. No matter how hard you suck LeBron's dick, he turns around and just
listen.
I don't know how to follow that up.
There's a level of detail that you're explaining this with that's making me very uncomfortable.
Sorry, that's how I picture Draymond Green. He just has
bad. I'm sure it has to. Most dicks do. I assume probably all of them, because I don't play for that team. So we don't.
Draymond Green has ejaculate on his face all the time.
That's why it's all bumpy down there by the jaw. No,
Although I'm pretty sure LeBron has ED, so I'm not sure.
Listen, so we've covered erectile dysfunction and blowjobs in like the last 14 seconds. We need to move past. He's in on it as far as I can tell, man. I think Draymond knows his self-worth. I think he knows his place in the cosmos and is okay with taking a backseat, for lack of a better term, to Steph, and get paid however it gets paid by LeBron behind the scenes. But he looked crazy out there telling the ref, "Get out my face," and all this other, it's the same performative nonsense that it would be for anybody else. Go do that to Isaiah Stewart.
But you saw LeBron mocking him, right? After
he's just gesturing to the crowd and doing all this. That's a T for anybody else. That's a 3-game suspension for anybody else. That's a ban from the league, and your family can't play for the league for anybody else.
Should we take
calls? Shout out to Uncut Hoops, man, for coming through. Well, I mean, listen, my connection is all jacked up. Can we even take calls right now? I don't even know, man.
He seems fine to me. You sound fine to me.
Yeah. All right, cool. I want to touch on what Uncut Hoops said real quick with the Butler Draymond Green situation, the lack of help for Steph Curry. What's interesting is we never hear ESPN or any of these other networks talk about how much help Steph Curry needs, or what the organization should be doing for Steph Curry. But we always hear what the organization should be doing for LeBron James, all the time, every single season. And when we talk about, the Jimmy Butler situation, AOH, you hit it on the head when you talk about, this Jimmy Butler move is essentially a one-year deal. It's a one-year deal, essentially, is how they're looking at this. Can they capture lightning in a bottle, so to speak? Can they capture some kind of chemistry? Can Steph Curry stay on the court? Can Steph Curry get hot? Can the Warriors go on a run here? Can Jimmy Butler play off, they call him a playoff Jimmy. Can they get playoff Jimmy? Can he be healthy? Can they get Draymond Green to pull himself together for some consecutive amount of games? This man is out there. I mean, Steph Curry's out there literally carrying the Walking Dead out there, all season long, man. These guys are so inconsistent, man. Steph Curry's missed some games, but the inconsistency of the Golden State Warriors is crazy. So the Jimmy Butler move is essentially a one-year deal. What can they do with Jimmy Butler 1 year? Like you mentioned, the big problem is, though, the size of the Warriors. They just don't have the big bodies down low.
The most moral army said the game got close, so Dre intentionally missed free throws and got a tech. And as crazy as that sounds, That's the NBA we're in now. That's not actually crazy, unfortunately. I mean,
Right. That's the facts here, wait.
Draymond Green is still in the league. Draymond Green should be in fucking jail. Forget being in the league. So that's the power. That's the power of aligning yourself with LeBron, but it comes with its cost because he'll mock you. You what am I going to say instead of to make Steam Engine more comfortable? But he's made it his career. His career has turned into doing that for LeBron and having LeBron just shit on him anyway. It's got to be a hell of a paycheck.
They're both signed to Nike, by the way. Just a little food for thought. Draymond's through Converse,
it's laughable.
Nike, but they're both through Nike. Yeah. The thing about burden of proof, though, is if we have provided substantial evidence of why these things might be taking place, then isn't it on the other party to present like the evidence on why it's not? Like, so for example, take steroids, for example, right? It could be argued that the burden of proof is, well, I mean, he was in Miami, he lost weight more faster than a human, person could, right? He has numerous symptoms. He's been linked to numerous investigations, but yet he's never came out and said he didn't do anything. So isn't the burden of proof on like the side that would say, well, I mean, everything is really pointing this direction, not yours? But for some reason, when it comes to this man, all of that is thrown out the window. It's just, appreciate him while he's here. But what exactly are we appreciating as fans of basketball, other than watching one person chase goals, which is fine if that's how he's being portrayed, but that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like, I thought about this the other night. Michael Jordan's stardom was international, damn near intergalactic, if you really think about it. How far is LeBron's presence really felt in a positive way like that? And like, if you think about it on that level, it's like,
no, you're right, Steve.
Well,
I mean, Steve, think about it. A couple of years ago, LeBron James got booed at the Super Bowl. So he's worried about going to the Super Bowl. He got booed at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. You would never see Michael Jordan get booed. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Promotion has a lot to do with it. There was an international person on last time who explained, well, look, LeBron James is who we were being shown when we were growing up. So, that's what we knew. But even with the NBA promoting him, LeBron is not universally loved. A lot of people look at him and are confused about how to feel because he doesn't play. Well, he doesn't even play real basketball, but he doesn't play with integrity. He doesn't carry himself with integrity. Jordan didn't really have those qualms. You either were mad at Jordan because he was always beating your team, or you loved him. There wasn't oh, look at that flopping crybaby bitch. And I know LeBron fans want to claim that Jordan complained all the time and got calls. You go back and watch. That's really not the case.
No, you're running the money, OH. Those are the facts, man.
Hey, let's just act like there's a delay for Robin. Now I can't tell if there's a delay or not, for real.
Oh shit.
What is so can anybody explain to me how they're trying to show this new All-Star benefit as a benefit, the new format?
Say again?
How Adam Silver tries to put some positive spin on all these little gimmicks he's doing. How is he trying to sell the All-Star weekend this year? I saw the slam dunk contest participants, and if it's not Mac McClung at this point, I don't know who it is, or a Toppin brother. So I know like nothing about this All-Star weekend coming up.
Something like pickup games, like a tournament style, Like I'm so tired of trying to keep up with Adam Silver's gimmicks that I'm not even bothering. Oh,
we lost him. He's back. We got him back. He's like jumping around.
You guys
screen,
keep going. I was trying to help you.
Like a faulty computer program or something. No, we were talking about the All-Star weekend. How they should just do away with the slam dunk contest to begin with. It's been bad since the second Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest.
Yeah, which was good.
Which was fantastic. Mac McClung's still not on a roster yet, is he? Somehow. I don't think he is.
Was he G League Magic?
He played one game this year. 1 game, 5 minutes. I believe it was the first game of the season.
That's insane.
So someone in the chat asked, "Oh, you guys don't watch the All-Star game?" I don't know if you're sympathizing with us or accusing us. No, I tried again last year, and boy, did I pay the price. I mean, that was dreadful. Just dreadful. Like, don't put it on us.
I watched every minute.
Yeah, don't put it on us to like we owe the NBA to like what's happening no matter what it is. I mean, after a while, you just finally give up and don't turn it on. I mean, and you know what people have already forgotten? LeBron James tried to win MVP of that piece of crap game that no one was taking seriously, and he couldn't make anything. And he finally realized, oh, okay, well, it's not going to happen. And Damian Lillard ended up getting the most worthless All-Star MVP ever. It's just who was willing to take the most wide open shots. It was just disgraceful.
Cat had 50 in that game, didn't he?
Who?
Karl Anthony Towns. I think he had 50 in that game.
Oh, yeah. He was taking a lot of wide open ones too. No one touched him the way that Karl Anthony Towns likes it.
Yikes. You're
that was not sexual.
You have a rough morning over there? That
was not a sexual comment.
Yo, guys, forgive me, man.
How else could that possibly be?
I don't know what's going on.
He's soft. Robin, how soft is Cat? Okay, so that's sexual too.
You're not making it any better for yourself.
He and LeBron he and ED have erectile dysfunction, and it carries over into their game.
How about Anthony Davis going down with a mysterious groin injury?
That was very upsetting because I saw how well he was playing.
He was killing.
Oh, fuck. That's really upsetting.
He looked happy to be there. He was engaged with the crowd. Now he's got a groin injury. He'll sit out 6 weeks.
No. Is it?
I know. I'm making that up. I'm being okay. No, he
No, I think he's okay.
Is he okay? So listen, if I'm Dalton Connect, how do I feel now? Because this whole locker room had my back at the beginning of the season, talking about how I'm the next Larry Bird, great white height, sharpshooter. Oh, but wait, y'all traded me for a big man with an injury past, who supposedly didn't pass his physical.
Well, welcome to life with LeBron James. He can't develop people, and he's unwilling to develop people. He wants superstars immediately. He's someone who has benefited from mercenaries his entire career. Who has LeBron James developed in 22 effing years? I have
one name.
Okay,
and that's Matthew Dellavedova. That's it.
No, you can't say that, man. Stop it now, Steve.
I'm just being tongue. I see he's above.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Listen. Hey, wait, you're on the money because this is very upsetting, I'm sure, for a lot of Lakers, the true Laker fans out there, because this is another example of a LeBron James team throwing away their future, not considering their future for LeBron James' immediate success that may or may not come. You just drafted Dalton Connect. He's your number 1 draft pick. You drafted him and LeBron James Jr. And now you trade him for some guy for a win now scenario when this is supposed to be a guy you're supposed to develop down the road. Dalton Connect is supposed to be one of those pieces that you should be on your team for the next 5 to 10 seasons. He should be a mainstay, a guy who develops as a Lakers player, either a role player or a starter, a consistent starter. But instead, you try to get rid of him. And now, like you said, Speed, you've created a hostile work environment now. Now, does Dalton Connect really feel like he's wanted there? Does he really want to play with LeBron James? How is he supposed to feel? These are the things that you have to think about when you're the teammate of LeBron James.
Yeah, and the only thing is that they somehow haven't. If Luka works out, they haven't thrown away their future. But how in the hell do, after all the moves that the Lakers have made, still have the capacity to pull something like this off? Like, it just, the way the Lakers operate is not fair. Oh, and I haven't watched it yet. Somebody's got a video out that's apparently was released 5 months ago, explaining how the Lakers intended to steal Luka. You guys see that yet?
I saw the headline. I didn't look at the video yet, though. I was too busy analyzing the photograph I got of the one moment where they talked about this trade in a public coffee place, where you could clearly tell people were reacting to a specific statement at a specific time. That's how tightly monitored they have this. Yet they have all these other problems going on in the league. But we can fucking do like the zoom in enhance thing like they do on Star Trek and see that these two people are talking about this specific trade. Like, get out of here. Also, Robin, I apologize. I will no longer even joke about saying LeBron made anybody better. I saw that vein in your neck. That vein in your neck get bigger, and you're in way better shape than me. You will last longer in a fight. I want no smoke.
Stop it right now. No, listen, remember, we always got to continue the education and educate the people out there. Yeah, you guys, listen, because that's really, that was a really good segue, you guys. Like I said, right into that stuff with the Dalton Connect trade and how they, rescinded that trade because of the failed physical from Mark Williams. And it all goes back to what we were talking about on the last show with LeBron James and, how many different players are on and off his roster at any given moment every season, man. How many more names now, are going to be on the roster for the Los Angeles Lakers? Because remember, it's never over. They can always sign some of these, free agents somewhere down the line or, something like that. This is the trade deadline, not the free agent deadline.
I was going to say the real test is going to be how many moves the Lakers make after the trade deadline.
Right.
Seriously. They get those auxiliary trade moves. Also,
and what's funny, guys? We were talking about it. Go ahead, Speed.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Speed. Go ahead. Finish that thought, man.
I was going to say, am I reaching here, or does Luka look real uncomfortable so far in terms of just like how he's reacting with the team, interacting with the team, how he just looks out of place. Like, it's clear as day they're trying to do that whole incorporate him into this image, and him and Buddy, or him and LeBron are buddy, and him and Bronny are buddy, and everybody's a happy family. It looks like that, right? It looks like it's being forced. It looks like Luka's not comfortable. Right?
I saw him trying to fall into place. In one of the highlights, they showed him, celebrating LeBron's bullshit like everyone else and getting ready to come hug him for, the way LeBron needs every point he scores ever to be celebrated. He celebrates it himself, and then he turns to his minions to make sure that they're celebrating it too. I've just never seen anybody who's supposed to be that good need praise that much.
Yeah, Steve, I agree with you, man. I'm not like a body language expert or I can't read people's mouths or anything like that. But I feel like if you look at any of LeBron James' co-stars, so to speak, the quote-unquote co-stars, their interactions are always awkward. The Kyrie Irving, LeBron James dynamic was awkward. It always seemed like it was forced. It wasn't natural. Like they were always forcing that relationship as like a big brother, little brother. Remember, Kyrie Irving didn't want that relationship. He didn't want to be a little brother to LeBron James. So it was always a weird thing, the dynamic between them. We all know the relationship between him and Kevin Love was weird. Remember, he tweeted out about Kevin Love, stop trying to fit out, just fit in. We still don't know what the hell that means. So we think about all the relationships, even Dwayne Wade. Think about he didn't even go to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony. So that shows you that their relationship was always weird. It was a forced friendship. But the irony behind it is, on the flip side, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, their dynamic always seemed natural. It always seemed natural. It always seemed like they were great friends. That's why we say, wow, they look so happy on the court together, but all these years later we find out Scottie Pippen didn't even like Michael Jordan, but it looked like they got along great. The dynamic between Luka Doncic, he looks awkward out there oftentimes when I see him in the interactions, because like you said, it's almost like he's put in a situation where, he wants to be the main guy, but he knows that LeBron James is not going to let him be the main guy. He knows that. He's not dumb.
That little quote, fitting out and fitting in, I'm sure LeBron fans got all excited about it without understanding a word. They're like, oh, that sounds like it means something. Oh, LeBron's a savant. I'm like, okay, what does it mean? Go ahead and explain it to us. Oh, he's just a savant. So you have no fucking idea, but you're celebrating.
I mean, strive for greatness, AOA. Strive for greatness.
Strive for greatness.
What are you confused about?
I don't know. Strive to go to the Super Bowl instead of playing with your team. This fucking guy.
Hey, you know what? You guys want to touch on? I wanted to touch on the teams that we were talking about. The teams getting blown out and how they're so lopsided. You mentioned Karl Anthony Towns earlier, AOH, and yeah, Karl Anthony Towns is soft. I've been telling a lot of the Knicks fans out there. Shout out to anybody in the chat that's from New York, that's New York Knicks fan. I told you guys, I'm not a believer in the New York Knicks because of Karl Anthony Towns. I just don't believe in him. Whenever the big-time teams come in, whenever they're supposed to do something, they lay an egg, just like they did last night. But, not just the New York Knicks. A lot of the teams that are supposed to be contenders, and we mentioned this backstage before the show, a lot of these teams that are supposed to be the good teams of the NBA right now, they're susceptible to getting blown out any given night. You turn the TV, these guys are getting blown out by 30, 40 points. We're talking about 30, 40, 50-point blowouts some nights. I mentioned earlier, the Lakers were beating the Pacers at full strength, 44-22 after the first quarter. 44-22. How is that even possible when they're supposed to be the most skilled era, bigger, stronger, faster players? These guys are not showing up every night. There's always an excuse, man. And I think we need to touch on that because that's part of the problem for the NBA, because it all goes back to the lack of adjustments that a lot of us talk about with the three-point shooting.
Yeah, I guess I never put up that poll. I should for the viewers. Which is it? Are the Lakers that good? Are the Lakers that good, everybody, that they don't even need their stars? Or are you going to admit that the other teams aren't even bothering to show up? They're calling it in when Adam Silver tells them to call it in.
One of those talking heads on one of their Lakers post-game show had a really creative way of saying that their team is trash. They said they're contenders because of the dynamic of the Western Conference, which is just coded language for the Western Conference fucking sucks. And there's like a 3-game difference between 1 and 10. It's plain it's like in plain English right there. Yeah, we know this is a shitty team. It's not a great conference right now. That's why, like, you're talking about teams that should be great. I immediately thought of Phoenix, Robin, because it's just like I'm living in a time where Bradley Beal makes what he makes, and Kevin Durant just gets traded. And these guys, like Kevin Durant, is supposed to be like this all-time great. And I'm thinking to myself, did he do more for Steph, or did Steph do more for him? Because what's he done? Like, what have both of them done since, breaking up, for lack of a better term? And then you have someone like Bradley Beal, who's going to make money probably into his 60s. He was supposed to go to Phoenix to make this team amazing, but what are they doing? With all that firepower they had, what are they doing? What's Philly doing? What's another? What are the Clippers doing? Like, all these teams that should be blowing people out and being like conference killers are just like blah. And it's been that way for a long time, aside from maybe 4 or 5 teams.
Yep. No, Speed, man, you made a couple of great points right there, man. And I saw somebody in the comment section say something about us hating on LeBron James, who scored 42 points and had 17 rebounds, blah, blah, blah. And once again, LeBron James fan mentioning stats when they talk about LeBron James' greatness, because that's all his career amounts to, is a bunch of numbers, on a piece of paper. But what did we mention earlier? And I want to bring that up because it's a perfect segue. Zion Williamson the other night just put up 40 points. Zion Williamson, who's played like, 5 games this season? The man got up off the couch, put down the cheeseburgers, came into the NBA and just dropped 40 points like it's nothing. So once again, this highlights how weak the NBA is right now, where Zion Williamson could take his fat, lazy butt up off the couch and drop 40 points in an NBA game and not even break a sweat out there. Remember, you just mentioned it earlier, Speem. Austin Reeves dropped 40, whatever he dropped last night. Anyone could drop 40 points. No one's impressed with LeBron James dropping 40 points when he's been standing around all season long, man. That's number one. I also saw someone say something about the NBA being rigged. And, if you guys think the NBA is rigged, they're saying that we're complaining, then why are you guys watch the games? No one's saying anything about being rigged. I didn't say the word rigged at all. And we're not talking about being rigged. We're talking about the lack of consistency of the NBA players. It's the players. They're not even showing up. So the Indiana Pacers fly into LA to play the Los Angeles Lakers. And apparently they were more concerned about hanging out in Hollywood and, going out there on the town and hanging out in LA than they were about showing up for a game. So you end up down 44-22 in the first quarter of an LA Lakers team being led by Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, when you have Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, you have your full squad going, and you're out there getting blown out by Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. That's not consistent play, man.
If you have players who are willing to call it in, willing to not show up that often, more interested in their podcasts than playing, willing to sit out because of a pinky strain, manicure imperfection, all these things, if that's where their love of the game is it really that much of a stretch to think that some of them are willing to rig games? Whether I say the NBA is rigged or not, I mean, and it's getting harder and harder to think that it isn't. I mean, the Warriors game from Christmas, I still haven't released because it was taking me so long to show every single example that the Warriors were throwing that game. I mean, you can come back at me and say, no way. And I say to you is, explain this play. Like, that's a professional basketball player? Like, I know people make mistakes, but not over and over and over and over and over again. Like, it really gets suspicious enough looking to where I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that we should be dismissing the rigging. And Uncut Hoop says,
right.
Jackson.
No, I was highlighting that we didn't use the word rigged. That's all I was saying, AOH.
No, I know.
There's many things that we could point to that allude to those kinds of things that you were mentioning. I mean, I saw someone in the comments section mentioning all the free throws that the Lakers have gotten over the last several seasons, which have helped them immensely. I mean, remember, guys, if we're being real here, think about the Los Angeles Lakers and where they've been finishing at the end of these seasons. They're normally hovering around the play-in, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th seed every single season. But why are we highlighting this? Why is this more of a problem for the Los Angeles Lakers for someone like LeBron James? Well, because they're getting plus 500 at the free throw line every single season, and still you're only finishing in the 7th seed, the 8th seed, the 9th seed. With all that kind of assistance, you guys should be a top 3 seed every season, hands down, easily. You have LeBron James and Anthony Davis on your team, but what's the problem for LeBron James and his teams? The inconsistent nature. And that's why they always say LeBron James needs more help. Remember, just earlier this season, guys, I did an article, a video on this. You had a segment on ESPN. They were talking Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins, and Malika Andrews. They had a segment, and they were asking, does LeBron James have enough left in the tank to carry the Lakers to a postseason? Does he have enough left in the tank when Anthony Davis was carrying him all season?
Yeah,
they were asking that after a month and a half in the season. That's an absolute joke. So now we're seeing Austin Reeves go out and drop 40-plus points without LeBron James. But he was carrying them earlier. Does he have enough left in the tank? We've seen you put the video footage up, AOH. The man standing around lollygagging all season long.
Speaking of video footage, that LeBroner who came on here saying, why are you hating on a man scoring 40? And do you, and I'm asking you, LeBron fan, do you really think, because I did miss that game, do you really think when I go back and analyze that game, it's not going to be a clown show of footage of rebounds landing in LeBron James's crotch, in his flaccid crotch, as Roger commented, La Flaccid, the new nickname. How much of
Hey.
that 40 points is going to be just a fucking joke? How many of those rebounds are going to be an absolute fucking joke? Without me even having seen the game, I'm happy to put my money down and say I am going to be able to make an absolute clown show out of what LeBron James did.
Which, if I may, it's a losing game because no matter what you point out, LeBron fans find a way to make what he does seem magnificent. So even if those rebounds are just fall in his hands, they'll say, "Well, he's 40. He's earned that," or the players respect him so much they don't want to get near him. He's a boss man shit. Whatever, I don't know. Whatever kids say. So it's a losing battle no matter what you show them. I wouldn't even bother fighting that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I could say that for every video I make.
Oh, well, then you're making money off his name, which we're not allowed to do.
All right.
Because, well, for obvious
and if you're aware of reality, you're a hater.
Oh, and that goes back to the burden of proof thing that I keep bringing it up. But proof that the league is rigged. Okay, well, we did that already about 20 years ago. I don't understand when you have NBA refs coming out and saying it, getting in trouble for it. Now it needs to be shown that the shit is not rigged, as far as I'm concerned. The burden of proof isn't on us. And I saw someone did bring up an interesting question. Well, if it's rigged, then how is it that the Nuggets are able to beat the Lakers? That's a fair point. You can rig something by influencing it. Like, what people don't pick up on the fact that the Lakers can lead every game in free throws, right? If they lead that game by one, that one free throw could be enough to shut down momentum for an entire team.
And I have the answer.
This call. Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize I asked a question. What was the question I asked?
You said if the NBA is rigged, how is it possible for the Nuggets to have won? Because LeBron kept taking the last shots.
Okay.
The refs helped the Lakers, and LeBron still fucks it up.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that's how bad it is even with all the. That's why I use the word influence instead of rigging. With all the influence that the refs clearly put on the game, they still lose like that. It makes it even worse. I think, Robin, you mentioned something about the free throw differential, and they still finished 7th, which is disturbing.
Yeah. So now we're gonna feel better about using the word influence instead of rigged. The way we have to say mentally handicapped instead of retarded now, and we all know what we're talking about. Speaking of retarded, Uncut Hoops says Jackson Hayes
going for all the cancels today. All right,
Jackson Hayes. Yeah, you don't come to my channel if you're in cancel culture. Jackson Hayes is the king of those fake celebration overreactions. Yes, Uncut Hoops, you are correct. Talk about someone who looks like they might be challenged upstairs.
Well, you didn't see his face when he beat his girlfriend. So,
did it look the same?
He didn't look that bright then either. He didn't look too smart then. Looked kind of cavemanish.
Well, remember Andre Drummond? Remember Andre Drummond a couple of years ago when he was doing this whole weird thing on the sideline when LeBron James was doing his thing? All of LeBron James teammates do weird stuff, man. They do all kinds of. They pick up all the mannerisms of LeBron James. They all do the shoulders thing with their palms up. They all do the same thing to LeBron James teams. Those are the things that rub off from him to his teammates that you guys notice. I want to shout out the super chat real quick from Armando Ruiz. He says, I believe the entire LBJ experience is a social experiment that will be studied for decades. It's the only way I can justify the lies and the narratives. Shout out to Armando Ruiz, man, for coming through with the super chat. Thank you for your continued support. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat. I mean, you guys in here deep right now. You guys, I see you guys in the chats. I see some people out here. Someone said something about Kobe Bryant and LeBron James playing in the same era or the same, 22-year era. Kobe Bryant and LeBron James didn't play in the same era. LeBron James is considered a 2010s era player. Kobe Bryant is considered a 2000s era player. Kobe Bryant won his last 2 championships in 2009 and 2010. That was pretty much the end of Kobe's pretty much era. The Tim Duncans, the Dirk Nowitzkis, the Jason Kidds, the Allen Iversons. That was the tail end. That was the end of their era. Whatever years they played after 2010, That was, like I said, the end of their careers. That's LeBron James' era. The 2010s is LeBron James' era. That's when all of a sudden he formed his super team. That's when he started all of a sudden, quote unquote, win some games and gain some notoriety. So Kobe Bryant and LeBron James did not play in the same era. Kobe Bryant came in the league a long time before LeBron James, my man. All right, he had already won 3 championships before LeBron James ever sniffed a minute in the NBA. So let's get that thing straight right away.
Yeah.
My adrenaline's going, so you guys got to excuse me.
Your adrenaline is
You
going?
guys want to take some
You got me
calls?
all pumped up. No, hold on. So real quick, did the Lakers never release the exact medical reason why they didn't clear what's his face, right? Just that he didn't pass his I almost want to say inspection. He didn't pass his physical. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I literally checked out after my last live show. I checked out of the NBA to do my actual job because I was falling behind, and that's how I missed that fucking Warriors game. So I'm scrambling to catch up right now.
Okay.
So I got so 2 questions. I'll put it in a poll, but for the viewers listening, if you want to chime in on this, who do you think, since that trade isn't happening, since they aren't getting Mark Williams, who do you think that the Lakers are actually going to be able to land? You know, you think they're going to somehow
Tristan Thompson.
No, they'll get a superstar. Which center free agents are available out there? And my second question is, some people say don't compare LeBron to MJ because they shouldn't be in the same sentence. I agree. I do it when I show how they're the opposites. But if I'm going to compare how bad LeBron is, again, instead of comparing him to Jordan, maybe I should compare him to Steph Curry, because I saw what Steph Curry did in the third period of that Bulls game. I don't think I've seen LeBron James do any of that shit. Like, that guy is a wizard. Steph Curry is a damn wizard with the basketball.
It makes what he does. It makes what he does that much more impressive too, because of his size and stature to be where he is in the all-time ranks of anything, let alone greatest shooter.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, AOH, man, you're right. And that's the thing with Steph Curry. You know, I see some people in the comments asking you, AOH, to do some more breakdowns of Steph Curry. You know, I guess they're trying to say that you don't give Steph Curry the same level of energy of LeBron James. But the thing about Steph Curry that I've always respected is that he's just a likable guy, man. He's just a likable character. You know, there's no need to, quote unquote, set the record straight on Steph Curry. You know, they're not rewriting the history books for Steph Curry, so to speak. They don't need to create these narratives and lie for Steph Curry, because we just mentioned earlier, no one's saying that Steph Curry needs help. I don't see them having a segment where Malika Andrews and Richard Jefferson and Kendrick Perkins talking about, does Steph Curry have enough to carry the Warriors? Because that's what we see going on every night. I mean, you're playing with Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins. I mean, these guys are mad inconsistent. The Andrew Wiggins that LeBron James forced the Cavaliers to trade, that Steph Curry turned to an all-star and got him a championship, man. That Andrew Wiggins and Draymond Green, the guy who's kicking people in the privates in the NBA Finals, who sabotaged Steph Curry all throughout his entire NBA career, man. That's what Steph Curry's had on his roster, man. That's the level that he's been dealing with, and they never talk about Steph Curry needs help. So once again, Steph Curry's more likable, and he's carried himself with more class. And what you're talking about, Speem, the overall game of Steph Curry, the man's a wizard with the basketball. He can do all these things, like you mentioned. You know, he's more entertaining for the people to watch. Who wants to watch LeBron James? Nobody.
Look at LeBron James is always shooting against a smaller defender. Steph Curry is always shooting against a bigger defender. Like when Steph makes his 3-pointers, a lot of times he's got like a millimeter of space with a 7-footer closing out on him. If it's not a guard, I mean, LeBron James has every advantage out there. He always has the size advantage. He has the I don't have to play by the rules advantage, whether that's carrying, hooking, traveling, offensive fouling. And then when that still isn't enough for him, then he has the refs to send him to the free throw line. So one of you Bronze out there said, "Oh, you all acting like LeBron sucks." He does. He does. Everything you guys celebrate is fictitious. It's fictitious. He doesn't accomplish what he accomplishes out there playing by basketball rules. So you don't get to say that he's great. He's not playing fucking basketball. A lot of people given the ability to cheat their fucking asses off are going to be able to break some records.
Yup. Yo, we got this guy. What do you say here?
What?
No,
go
Speed.
ahead, Robin.
I want you to speak. I want you to speak on this right here, Speed. We got Sporty Doo-Wop here. Everyone wants to watch LeBron. This entire podcast is about LeBron. Well, once again, you're not watching LeBron. You're watching us. So I don't know what you're talking about. You're actually watching us. You're actually listening to us. You're not watching or listening to LeBron James. We're speaking, once again, setting the record straight on LeBron James. Like I said earlier, if they would be honest and tell the truth about LeBron James, then we wouldn't be here. We're talking about no one's watching the game. Thank you, Sport Doo. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Speed. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, well, I was going to say, I mean, if we're just going to say obvious statements, then, I mean, yeah, we're on YouTube right now. We're talking. The entire podcast is about LeBron. Like, yeah, that's where the interest of the league is. No matter where you are, he's a polarizing figure. Nobody's denying that. What we're arguing is it almost doesn't. It almost defeats the purpose to bring it up, because it's like we're not going to change anybody's mind because you guys are convinced this is what greatness is, and that's fine. Have that, but this idea that calling him second or third or fourth or whatever, like that whole thrown out argument, the fact that somebody would call that damaging or hurtful to his reputation tells you everything you need to know. If he's not number one and it's blasphemy to call him anything other than number one, then there's something really wrong with that when that's coming from people that haven't really been here as long as people that have been here for both. That can provide historical context, I think, is a word that people don't really like to throw in there a lot. And you bring up Steph Curry. How can you be considered the greatest of anything when you have a whole other player eaten during your quote unquote era, get as many chips as you did? They both got 4. However you want to say they got them, right? You want to say Bronze was a bubble chip? Okay, cool. You want to say the Warriors had KD? Okay, cool. You want to balance injuries off each other? Okay, cool. But then, like the what's her face always says, keep that same energy. Then you have to give that same greatness to Steph then, because he has just as many rings as LeBron and less tries, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're really gonna do that, also I didn't realize then. So you mean to tell me you have Kendrick Perkins, Malika Andrews, and Richard Jefferson,
and your brother?
Oh yeah, my brother. So now it's nothing but Clutch affiliates doing that show right now. Then is what you're saying?
Yep.
That's. I mean, like, what more do you need? Like, I don't know. It's not even worth getting emotional about. But what more do you need to see?
And I caught a glimpse.
A great point, Steve.
God damn it! I caught a glimpse of a Brontard comment, and I saw that the response was, "Oh, so only LeBron cheats?" You understand where your head is at? That you idolize a guy that you don't even deny cheats, and your retreat is to say that other people cheat?
Hey, we all rape, right? He just raped her. Everybody rapes. Come on, look, what are we doing here?
Yeah. What is it? Is the topic of the show today? Hey, everybody cheats,
so funny.
Or that LeBron James is the GOAT, because goats don't need to cheat, and they don't need to be the kings of cheating. LeBron James has led the way to an era in which nobody plays by the rules anymore, but he most of all. He is the leader of the cheating world. He is the leader of the flopping world. How are his flops alone not enough to make you burn anything that has LeBron James's name on it? Like, if you are the type of person who can watch LeBron James's behavior and be a fan of that guy anyway, then you're beyond help. Like, I won't waste any more time responding to people like you, because my God, what the fuck is actually wrong with you? Like, what was your dad like? if you celebrate a guy who flops all the time while being the biggest guy on the court. Gemini girl with the super thanks.
Yeah, hey, wait, you want to read it off?
Sure. The NBA as a whole is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Woo! The enigma is so distorted now, where black is white, day is night. Savannah's husband is the goat. The capping never ends.
You may have to define enigma for some of these LeBron fans. AOH.
I told you I'm not.
On the screen there.
I told you I'm not wasting any more time on him.
Enigma.
Yeah,
Is this a delay, or you guys
actually talk about black is white, day is night? When we talk about those kinds of things, that's the hypocrisy. That's the irony behind the NBA right now. The product. Remember, they keep telling us that these guys are more skilled, but then when you watch the game, all you see is guys traveling, carrying the basketball, which would lead you to believe they're not skilled. You know, I coach 7- and 8-year-olds. I coach my son's 2nd and 3rd grade team. You know what they do on the court, guys? They carry the ball a lot. They carry the ball a lot because why? They're not as skilled. They're young kids. So they need to carry the ball to dribble down the court, or we're never going to get anywhere in the game. That's what they do. You know what else they do? They also travel a lot, guys. They travel a lot because they're 7- and 8-year-olds. They're not as skilled. So they travel a lot. And you know what the referees do? They allow them to get away with this. They lower the standard for the young kids. They lower the standard. So what are we watching right now? They're telling us these guys are more skilled, they're bigger, stronger, faster, but all we see is guys playing under a lower standard and guys missing more games. So obviously they're not bigger, stronger, or faster, because if they were, they would be moving faster. Do you see guys moving fast on the basketball court right now? I don't see guys moving fast out there. Do you guys see do you see guys being strong out there? I don't see guys being strong out there. There's no physicality in the game. And are guys actually bigger? No, they're actually not bigger. The league is actually shorter and smaller than it was in the past. So once again, these are the narratives that we're talking about. Black is white, night is day. Like Gemini girl is saying, man, it's complete hypocrisy right now.
See, that's why you think there's a delay, AOH, because Robin stops like real abruptly, and then I can't tell. Sometimes I can't tell if he's done talking either. So that's where that whole delay thing's coming in, I think.
No, my signal sucks.
I can hear you. I can hear him making mouth sounds. He's been making a bunch of weird sounds all day. Are we taking calls? Someone in the chat asked if you're taking calls.
Sure, let's try it.
Yeah, Mr. Delay.
Yeah, I saw someone mention Ben Simmons in the chat also. And I wanted to mention, touch on Ben Simmons also, because like you mentioned earlier, Speem, so, like how is someone like this guy still even in the NBA, man? It's shocking that he's able to be bought out and then go to the Clippers. So essentially what they did was they just threw money at Ben Simmons just to get him off the team. They literally were like, here, take millions of dollars, get out of here. We don't want you. Go sign with whoever you want to sign. And now he's on the Clippers. So you have James Harden, Ben Simmons make a reunion on the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard. Look at that threesome. Just as great as Pippen, Jordan, Rodman.
How did Ben Simmons get another contract? How did the Clippers take him?
Mental health, man. You don't know what he has to deal with. You know, banging them hot girls, wearing them fancy clothes, being in tip-top shape, never having to shoot. You don't know what's going on in his head.
I mean, not only are they not physically stronger, they're mentally weaker as well.
It's a toss-up between him and Paul George, I feel like, in terms of like mentally weakest players. I'm a piece of shit, but I'm untouchable. Paul George at least tried to act like he's interested in playing basketball.
Well, remember, Paul George, I dropped the link, guys. If anybody wants to come in, I dropped the link for you guys to come on in. Whatever you guys want to talk about, man. Any of the trades, any of the drama in the NBA, you have any questions you want to ask AOH or myself or Speem, or, you just want to come by and say hi, come on in, guys. Like I said, I just dropped the link. So, like I said, man, whatever you guys want to talk about.
I read somewhere that
We got
the Clippers signed Ben Simmons, but I think that was a joke.
all right. Here we go. We got Old Head Podcast joining us. Old Head Podcast, what's up, man? Can you hear us?
Hold on, let me fix my mic.
That mic sounded pretty good.
Link is in the chat, everybody. Link is in
All
the
right,
chat.
can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead, man.
Okay, salute to y'all fellas, man. Yeah, y'all already see what my avatar is. So speaking about, I call him Jay Reed from Akron. So it's like what y'all said is what I've been saying for a long time. Anybody that been knowing me on YouTube and everything like that, y'all already know how I get down. I just don't see what everybody see in LeBron. I just don't see it. And everybody is affiliated with Clutch everywhere. So it's just like these kids are getting so much brainwashing. We've been watching this his whole entire career. I said this in the comments. He travels all the time. He cusses out referees. He does everything under the moon and sun. So how many points he really would have if they would have actually called the calls, but they just don't, But it is what it is. But that's why we got people like us that's going to continue to educate these people. You think people on here is crazy? TikTok, they even more crazy. I'm just like, y'all gonna be brainwashed. They always want to talk about Michael Jordan kids and all this other stuff. Listen, I'm just gonna say this for this first time on here. Look at all the NBA players' sons right now in high school and in college. They are putting up better numbers than Bronny. I'm sorry. That's just is. I'm just tired of the excuses. This dude got more excuses. This dude had way more help. They had like LeBron went against. He never had a super team, but then when Steph do it, oh, it's a problem. They couldn't get KD the MVP because he played with three other Hall of Famers. They gave it to LeBron back to back years. He played with two other. So it's just like the hypocrisy in the media. The people that's older, we get what we're seeing, but these youngins. Look, they see JJ Redick with his racist self disrespecting old school people, but they did not put back what Jerry West came back and clapped back on them. What I do, like, who are you to sit there and call us plumbers? Them dudes set a standard. George Mikan, he set a standard. Minneapolis Lakers, and it just went on, twickled on down. I know NBA history. I don't take dumps on the players. I don't rank players. I don't get into that. I do it according to your generation.
Yeah,
But I salute
I
for having me up, though.
yeah, thank you. And I was going to add to what you said. Even if you didn't feel the way I feel about LeBron's gameplay, because I'm not impressed by it personally, but even if he was as good as some people say he is, wouldn't you still be alarmed that all of those people in the mainstream media are on the Clutch payroll?
Right.
I mean, that should
Hey,
set off
what?
people's heads.
You know what's crazy, angry? Because I predicted this, and people that have known me, they already know. Because I grew up a Laker fan, all the way back from Magic Johnson days. So I watched 4 decades from college basketball all the way to NBA. And it's just a shame what he did to the Lakers. And I predicted. Everybody told me I was crazy, I was dumb, I was a hater, all kind of stuff on YouTube. But everything I said was right. He traded the whole squad, but he got a ring. Okay, this whole Laker experiment has been a dumpster fire. It's been epic fire. Like, how much help did this man need? Like, how much help do you need? Like, I never seen a player that gets everything. He gets everything. Only thing that got slapped back in his face. Only thing that got slapped back in his face was on that rescinded trade that just happened with Williams. Other than that, he got everything that he wanted, and they still coming up with excuses for him. It's so disgusting how this game of basketball, how he made the Lakers, and they have him drafting his son. I was trying to tell people on my channel, like, man, no, man, like, and then it ended up happening. They were like, dude, it's embarrassing. He gets more minutes than Don't Connect. Are you serious? It don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it's karma at the end because Jay Reed time is coming up, y'all. All this little stuff y'all was saying about all these other players and all this other stuff, he got some stuff he got to answer to too. And I can't wait. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Salute, fella. That's all I've got. Thanks for having me up, man. I was on my lunch break, man. I seen y'all was live, man. I appreciate y'all having me up, man. And y'all have a
Thank
good
you.
one, bro.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Hey, to the brother of Sports Fitness Ross, man, you be having me. You have me going in the morning, man. I wake up the same time you get up, but in the West Coast, man. And I always catch your videos, but I'll never comment, man, because you got the crazy people in the comments, man. They be saying crazy stuff. So I'll holler at y'all, man.
Shocker.
Peace.
Yo, thanks a lot, man. Yo, Old Head Podcast. Thank you for coming through, man. Much respect. We're gonna get somebody else. We got somebody else backstage here. Hey, if you guys, I want to just remind you guys, if you want to come on the show, you have to go to my channel. I believe the only way you can find the link is in the chat on my channel. Go to my channel. You'll see the link there in the chat, and then you guys can come on. I've been dropping it repeatedly. So yeah, go to my channel if you want to call in. We're gonna next person on, and we're gonna let you guys come on if you guys want to say something, ask a question, and we're gonna try to move because we got a bunch of people already backstage, man. Next we got Dab Dow.
Robin, real
Dab
quick.
Dow. I don't know if you can hear me. What's up?
Yes. I have a
Robin,
question.
real quick. Let me can I get this out real quick? I just want to point one thing out.
Go ahead, Steve.
To the previous caller, salute you bringing it up, talking about LeBron getting more minutes and Dalton Connect. The reason that's such a solid point is because the second you argue for Dalton Connect getting more minutes, they'll sit there and tell you, well, the team can't do it without LeBron. So if that's the vicious cycle that we're in, I just wanted to acknowledge that was a great point that you had. My bad. Please proceed.
Yeah. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I've been feeling this kind of frustration with LeBron for years now, and I recently started watching like YouTube, podcasts, and I realized that there's a lot of people that kind of feel the same way. Because like some of the younger generation, like probably like I'm 38, but like some of the 28-year-old people and 25-year-old people, when they watch a game, they kind of idolize and they don't see the effort that sometimes LeBron don't really put out on a defensive end. And, sometimes you see where like games are just being lost unnecessarily. And you're like, man, like, if he kind of just showed a little bit more heart and more determination and kind of have a little bit more Kobe in him, like Kobe type of spirit, a lot of those games could have been won. And I just want to make that comment. And the question I have is pertaining to the fact that since the Lakers rescinded that deal, and they don't really have like a true big man, question one is like, do you guys think they're gonna get someone like a Dwight Howard or someone like that to join the team? Or, at some point in time, like LeBron is probably gonna shut it down and just, look towards the offseason. Like he's done many times,
I don't know. People act like the Lakers don't have a center. They have a 7-footer, and they have a 6'11" guy, and they're not playing Koloko, but he's tall too. And are those like the biggest names in the NBA? No, but that's what other teams deal with. Not every team gets to have the best at every position, and yet somehow we think that LeBron James is owed that. I mean, you got Luka. I almost feel like to make it fair, you should have to play without a center. I mean, how stacked do your fucking teams have to be? And they're gonna go get someone. They're definitely gonna go get someone. Let me look up who the free agents. Does anyone know who the big name free agents are?
I want to thank you for calling up.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Have a good day, guys.
Take care.
Yo, it'd be good, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Yo, thank you for the support, guys, for calling up, man. I'm gonna get a King Speech Row on here. We're gonna bring in King Speech Row.
What's up?
Hey, what up, guys?
King Speech Row, can you hear me, man? What's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. So I was arguing with a couple of LeBron stands in the chat. I love that. I love arguing with them because their logic is so skewed. Now, they say we're not talking about y'all not talking about any other players, Like y'all didn't, like at the beginning of the podcast, y'all didn't go around the NBA and talk about players. But what's so hypocritical about them, right? They say not talk about every LeBron fan I know when AD got hurt yesterday, posted about it. Oh, see, non-contact injury. See, look, he's always hurt. Who was doing that other than LeBron fans? And it's like, I mean, you guys realize Luka hasn't played since Christmas Day, right? So it's not like the guy you traded for is like this beacon of health. But on top of that, it's like the legacy of Anthony Davis and the Lakers. He was their best player for 5 years, but the media would never tell you that. I mean, statistically, I mean, if you had to judge the MVP of any team by the caliber of, by the MVP criteria, AD was the MVP every year, but never got the credit for it. And finally, he got to a place where they appreciate him, or he wants them to appreciate him, where he can be the man. Kyrie will let him be the man. And, he showed out until he got hurt. Okay, yes, AD is injury prone, but AD has played most of the games lately. And if you look at it, he missed as many games as LeBron has missed. But LeBron James is never injury prone. I mean, most of LeBron James is not. It's fake injuries. He's not even. He's sitting out for load management. So it's the hypocrisy is amazing, man. The hypocrisy is very amazing.
Yeah, I agree. It's not like Anthony Davis doesn't deserve criticism for getting hurt a lot, but you look at how many games he's missed compared to how many games LeBron's missed, and it's very, very similar. And yet LeBron is the Iron Man, and Davis is street clothes. That's not fair.
Not to mention they both get their points in dramatically different ways.
Do you guys remember? Oh, sorry.
My bad, real quick. LeBron got all those fake accolades, scoring all those buckets in garbage time. Of pretty much every single tournament, all of it. All his buckets are scored when the game's way out of reach. What AD does, for as much as I can't stand him, he's in the paint. Like, yeah, he screams and yells before every shot to draw a foul, but he's at least in there working for buckets. So his 35 and 11 to me is a lot more powerful than LeBron's 22, 10 and 10, on 7 for 40 shooting. But, they never get that deep. My bad. I'm going to get that off my chest.
Yeah, no problem. I just remembered. You remember when LeBron passed Kareem, right? They played OKC. They were losing the game when he passed them, and they lost that game.
Yep.
LeBron pretty much, after he scored the point, he really was not interested in playing the rest of that game. I think he had one more bucket, and that bucket was a pass from Russell Westbrook, right? Russell Westbrook hit him for a layup. Again, they lost that game. LeBron goes on sabbatical. Westbrook gets traded. Vanderbilt and Russell come back. They go on a run. LeBron is away from the team for about a month. They go on a run. Austin Reeves, AD, and Russell go on a run. They get back into play. They were 11th seed after that OKC loss. They come back. They're about the 7th, 8th seed. Oh, now LeBron comes back, plays against the Bulls. I remember it was 2 games back-to-back against the Bulls, and now he's the conquering hero when those guys brought them back into contention.
Yep.
Now LeBron goes, the rest of the season, now they get to the playoffs. They make it to the conference finals. AD carries them for 2 rounds. Yep. He carried the first 2 rounds. LeBron gets all the credit.
Yep.
AD, bro, you're free. Look at this as a blessing. You're free. I actually like Dallas. If he gets healthy, I like what they are defensively. I like them to make a run. They got to go higher in the standing before we see what the matchups are. But AD, bro, you're free. I know you like living in LA. I know it's chill. I know it's chill being there. But LeBron stabbed you in the back at every turn. You are a better player than they give you credit for. I mean, again, you brought his team and was going to miss the playoff for a second consecutive year. Remember, to the playoffs while he was rehabbing a fake foot injury. Come on, bro. Y'all want to talk about it? I can talk about the whole league, LeBron fans. But I remember the nonsense.
I think
that's that, man. That's all I got to say, man.
You Your last sentence said it all. Anthony Davis.
You good, speech, bro. I'm gonna try to get my man Dallas in here. Dallas, what's up, man? Can you hear us?
Oh yeah. I didn't want to.
Am I muted?
No,
I didn't want to cut King's speech off. I want to actually give him a shout out because I think the last time I was on the channel, he was right before me. So I thought it was super cool.
Multiverse.
Can y'all hear me okay though?
We're just getting caught up. Everyone's getting caught up to the same timeline here. Hang on.
Oh, okay. We good?
I think we might be.
Everybody good now?
I'm not going to talk.
I can't tell.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dallas. What's good, man? Thanks for joining the show.
Yeah. Okay. It was a lag. I didn't know what was going on. Nah, but I just wanted to say, I'm gonna say what I said last time again. I don't like any of it. And the reason why the people talking about LeBron is because LeBron is the genesis of all of this. Everything about the league that we watch now is based on him to make him good. Like even the conversation about what teams need, like what this player needs, this player needs that. We didn't even used to have that conversation because you was based on your popularity and how they viewed you was based on how you built your team or how you actually influenced your team. Like even with Steph Curry, we say Steph Curry needs this and that, but that's because that's how they talk about LeBron. They say LeBron needs this and that, but it didn't used to be that conversation. You used to have to work with what you had and you just continued to develop. You might have some down years and then you got good again, but all of this is based on him and based on what we look at him as. So I just wanted to say that. And my last thing I want to say is this is totally off topic, but why do these games of these great players are always, the definition is never good? The only games that got really good definition is Cleveland games. But when you go back and you look at an old 76ers game, it's very few old school games you can find on YouTube that's in crisp condition. So it's almost like we don't want you to see how really good guys are so we're gonna give you this little raggedy, so nobody wants to watch it. So I just want to leave y'all with those two things because I'm just sick of all of it. I can't even. It's very hard to stomach.
Hey, that's a good point. That's not that much.
Yo, Dallas, thanks for calling in, man.
No doubt.
I just want to say something about what you mentioned. Yo, when we talk about players going to different teams, and we talk about LeBron James always needs help, and that's how they they push that narrative. And you talk about how it was viewed back in the day that teams had to kind of or players had to, play with the hand they were dealt, so to speak. When you think about free agency and things of that nature, it was always about what the team needed. Hey, what do the Chicago Bulls need? What do the Boston Celtics need? What do the San Antonio Spurs need? It wasn't what does David Robinson need? Oh, what did David Robinson need? It was what do the San Antonio Spurs need so that they could win. Now it's always what does LeBron James need?
Yep.
What can the Lakers do for LeBron James, not for the team? So that's the thing that you're talking about. The narrative has been more focused on him and what he needs, not the team. Whereas back in the day, when a team was looking for a free agent or something, a move at a trade deadline, it was to help the team, not an individual player.
Hey, I've got some free agent news. Kevon Looney is available this summer. The Lakers should pick up Kevon Looney, and let's see what LeBron does with Kevon Looney.
Don't do that to my guy. You can make me trade in my Kevon Looney jersey. Don't do that to my guy.
What up, fellas?
What up?
What's up?
Yo, we got Bookie Allen over here. Bookie Allen, what's going on, man? Thanks for calling in. What's going on?
He's been here. He's been here.
What's up, my guy? The funniest thing I laugh at LeBron James fans, they always cry and talk about when they mentioned, when I was like, he ain't made an all-defensive team in about 11 years. They talk about because he has to carry so much of an offensive load. Man, Jordan had to carry the offensive load for years and years and years and years and years. That's what he's talking about. If he had to do what Jordan did, he wouldn't have made it to no damn 22 years in the NBA. That's why I laugh at these goofs. And y'all need to quit saying LeBron James and Kevin Durant are the two greatest small forwards of all time, because they clearly not. They nowhere near that. because I want to debate Gilbert, but he don't want to debate me, Larry Bird versus LeBron or Kevin Durant. He don't want to do it. Because I exposed the real. That's all I had to say, though.
Well, you just gave another example of what LeBron fans do. They just run to something else.
Where you at?
The hell?
Allen.
What's up? What you need?
Mute that shit.
Yeah. That's
Looking for you, man.
He's done. He's done talking anyway.
Let him cook. Just mute him. Yeah,
Well,
I don't want to hear.
he said he was done anyway. Just cut it.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. He's muted. Go ahead.
So what do you? The offensive load stuff. Again, that's another example of LeBron fans, instead of wanting to face reality, acknowledge the shitty defense, they create an excuse. And we don't have to bring up how Jordan played both sides. Don't bring up anyone else's name. You're an NBA player getting $50 million a year, being praised for how great you're playing. Play both sides of the fucking ball.
Is it possible? Is it even possible?
We got a super chat here from David Hudson. Go ahead, Speem. Sorry, man.
No,
You're never hosting again. You're never hosting again.
Listen, I don't care. It's all good with me. It's it's almost like if LeBron goes to college, right, which is a far stretch, but if he goes to college the same amount as Jordan, and you give him the same career trajectories, but you give Jordan what LeBron had in terms of like resources, money, all that stuff, and then you give LeBron what Jordan had. I mean, who do you think's gonna pan out better when you just compare like man to man, but keep everything apples to apples? And I feel like there's not one person on this planet that could say that Jordan wouldn't absolutely dominate if you switched everything about the two of them. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're removing all...
I want to read off this...
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to read off the super chat. I'm sorry today, guys, for the delay. I'm sorry to all you guys in the chat. I'm sorry to AOH. I'm sorry, Speem, for the unprofessionalism that we got going on today, man. The lack of quality that we can give the people out there today. But I want to read off a super chat from David Hudson. He says, LeBron is Victor Sweet from the movie Four Brothers. We just need Luka to be Bobby Mercer and drop his ass into the frozen lake. Thank you to David Hudson for coming through with the super chat. I'm going to bring the next caller in here. You guys ready for the next caller?
Assuming you didn't just say this 40 minutes ago, yes.
It's almost 11. I'm going to have to bounce.
Let's bring it Ray. Yeah,
don't you end my Sunday with a
callers.
fucking
Let's bring in
Bron
Ray 718.
Oh, here comes some intelligence.
Let's see what we got here. Ray 718. What you got, Ray?
Hey, what's up, man?
Welcome to the show.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right, that's dope. Listen, I thought it was a basketball channel. I didn't know it was a hater channel.
Oh, wow, that was a good one. Shit, we never heard that. Fuck, all my arguments are gone.
This is my first time here, brother. I'm sorry. This is my first time here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all
my first time here. This is my first time here. All right. Okay. It's interesting. A lot of comments were made up here. But even if you like, just the last thing you said about switching the teams or whatever.
The
roles, switching the role. You think LeBron gets 6?
What happened? What?
LeBron gets 6 with who?
I think it's a good question. You mean in Jordan's era? Would he get 6?
Yeah. If he has the same team, GM, coach, role players, do you think he gets 6?
Nah, he said GM. You brought the GM. Why are you bringing the GM, man? Don't bring the GM.
Yeah.
Don't be a goof.
Because that's part of the team. That's part of the team, right? Hold on. Relax. I could tell you why I bring. I could tell you why I bring him up. I could bring him why. I could tell you why. You should let me
named the
speak.
GM for the 2000 Lakers. You
You should
named
let
the
me
GM
speak.
for the Spurs of the 2000s. You
You
named
should let
the
me
GMs
speak.
for these other teams. Name the
You
GM
should.
first. I want
You
you to name
should.
the GMs, you
To
goof.
be fair, he could be
Name
thinking
them.
he's letting you speak. There is a delay.
You should let me. You should let me speak, bro. Because you know you've been
You're
talking the whole
saying
time.
nonsense. You brought the GM. LeBron James ain't winning with Scottie Pippen, my man. But go ahead.
Thank you. All right. So now to act like the GM of the Bulls was a bad GM, I don't know why you sound like a casual right now because he bringing a lot of talent to the team. Now, that's so moving it on from that. I don't know why you want to stick on the GM. You can even erase the GM's point. He said to answer the question. Do you think LeBron will get 6 or not?
Oh no, I said no. I don't think he gets
Okay.
6. No.
He not.
Okay.
He gets 1.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Jesus
Yeah, I'm not
Christ.
sure.
He'll
I'm
get
not
zero.
saying that.
He would get Scottie Pippen traded, you clown.
You
He would have got
yelling
Phil
at him.
Jackson fired, you goof. What are you talking about? You sound ridiculous right now. Yeah, exactly. He bounced up out of here.
Again,
Listen, man.
yet
These
again.
people don't
You
make any
can't. You
sense.
can't. You should let other people speak, bro. You should
I
be
let
less
you speak. You're
emotional.
not helping us. You're making us dumber.
But you keep yelling when I try to
You're
talk, bro. I
making
don't
us
want to
dumber
yell.
right
I don't
now.
want to yell, bro.
You're
I don't want to
talking
yell
like
like
a
you.
GM.
Oh, Jesus
Bro,
Christ.
you've been in the chat all day. You know
Speak
this
the
is how
facts,
it
man.
I
Just
know
speak the
I'm
facts.
trying to speak, but he keeps yelling.
When have you heard him speak
Speak the
differently?
facts,
This
my
is how he
man.
talks.
This is his regular volume.
Right. He
Speak
just
the
keep yelling
facts.
though.
Well, what did you expect? This is how he's
But
been all day.
I expected to have a
Speak the
conversation.
facts.
You know, one person speak, they listen, the other person speak, and then the other person listens. That's how conversations go. I'm not emotional. I'm just trying to talk basketball.
Dude, just shut up and make
You
your
see, he
point.
cut
Don't
me off
talk about
again.
the
You see
general
that? This
manager.
is
You
your guy.
sound
This is your guy,
ridiculous, man.
not me. I'm not doing anything wrong. This is him cutting me off.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
We're going to get you out of here because you're goofing up the show. The LeBron James fans goof the show. Let's get things very, very clear here, my man. Let's understand something, all right? Ray, you goofball. You're bringing up a general manager. We can't name the general manager for any of the other great franchises. You're telling me that no one else got players drafted to their teams? You're bringing up the general manager for the Chicago Bulls like Jerry Krause was in practice with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. You sound ridiculous, man. He wasn't on the court. I don't want to hear about the general manager of the Chicago Bulls. All I want to know is would Michael Jordan play or would LeBron James allow Scottie Pippen to have a migraine game? Would LeBron James allow Phil Jackson to bring in a triangle offense? He never would allow these things. He's a goof. Let's bring our last caller here.
Lulu.
We got RC. RC, what's going on? Can you hear me, RC?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yo, what's going on, RC? Speak to us.
You see how timid he is now, Robin? Thanks.
Oh, well,
Yes,
I can't hear me, but apparently you can hear me. All right, so I'll go ahead and talk.
Stop yelling at this guy, Robin.
Anyway, in regard to the last caller, like, fucking Christ.
He'll laugh
Can
in a
we
minute.
stop comparing fucking LeBron James to Michael Jordan? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, Kobe dies and somehow fucking LeBron is now comparable to Michael Jordan? Has anybody ever seen Michael Jordan fucking play basketball? Have you ever watched a fucking game of basketball? Do you have access to YouTube? To a video? Can you, in your mind, take a video of Michael Jordan playing basketball, a video of LeBron playing basketball, and conclusively say to yourself that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan? The argument, there never was a fucking argument. That's not even why I called. Now I'm just so enraged. Anyway, but here's what LeBron James has done and 3-point shooting. I was at my seventh grade nephew's AAU game the other night, and during warm-ups, they're practicing by shooting half-court shots. Now, let me ask you guys. When I was their age, if we had done that, our coach would have ran us the next day until we all vomited. And that was how it was. That was, in my day, like, that shit didn't happen. I saw that, and I thought, what in the fuck? I don't know. I'd like your guys' opinion on that and just how bad things are.
I just lived it. I just lived it when I was on the live last week. I was like, I was trying to shoot around a little bit, and then these kids come out. I mean, they're in junior high, and I have to leave because they are shooting 100% 3-pointers, and they can't make a single one of them. And like, I'm in danger. I'm in an actual fucking danger of getting hit in the back of the head because they're so bad. What? You guys can't shoot out there yet. Where are the coaches and dads teaching them to start on the inside and work their way out? You can't make the shot.
Yeah, and you see, that's like what I think we have today. Like, even with the pros, like, I stopped watching in 2010 after the Lakers won, and God forbid, I started watching again in like 2020. But like, it seems like you have all these skilled athletes, but there's no fundamentals. Like, they have not learned to fundamentally play basketball. They're not even running an offense. They set a screen and take a three. Like, are you kidding? Like, what has happened? You don't play defense. You're allowed to travel.
I'm not trying to defend them, but I'm trying to explain what happened. They're watching professionals behave that way.
Exactly.
So it's not that weird that they are behaving that way.
I know. It's just incredible to me that the game I love has just been turned into something it's just not. And I love you guys for doing what you do. Keep it up. Thanks.
Thank you.
That was maybe my favorite call.
Yo, thanks for
ever.
calling up. I
That dude was
appreciate it,
great.
RC. We got there's one more call. The last call here, my man Wavy Thomas. Wavy Thames. I'm sorry if I messed your name up, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You can hear me?
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling up.
Yeah, man. I'll be laughing at these LeBron fans because we be having pure footage, evidence, and these motherfuckers be in la la land, man. It's like, mind you, they say he a basketball savant. He could play with everybody. Soon as he gets certain players, he can't play with them. We watch him demolish Westbrook, a pure ball handler. That's a better ball handler than him. We see him get crucified. Every team is always a scapegoat. We see him get ball handlers, D-Lo, scapegoat, all that. Like, and then to sit up here to compare him to Kobe, Jordan is crazy, man. 6 finals losses. We've seen this dude sit down in one of the finals. We've seen him average 17 in one of the finals. Jason Terry averaging 20. And a lot of people don't know that year, his matchup when Shawn Marion was on the bench, one ranked 110 in defense, the other one ranked 112. And that was one of his worst finals. So people got to stop comparing them to the GOAT. And then when you look at the stuff with the Lakers, that's all LeBron's fault, man. You can't sit up here blame Rob Pelinka. It's a TV show. It's USA. All characters welcome. Like, we playing it, and we're in different times. Now I'm 37, but we in different times when we literally watching all these LeBron pom-pom, LeBron losers not respecting the game of basketball, man. We watch this man hit people with an elbow. They don't say nothing. All type of, like, the proof is in your face, like. And it's too many. We're in different times, man. These kids is wussies and don't understand the real game of basketball. Because one thing, nobody can't tell you one person LeBron had locked up all game. Every great, it doesn't matter, plays some type of defense. Some type of defense. This dude is too good to be shooting 70% from the free throws. We see him avoid free throws. He got a lot of tangibles with his game, and then, like, he can't even be in that GOAT conversation with 6 finals losses, man.
Well, I tell you, they got it right from a marketing perspective to create this endless argument about the GOAT debate, because it's what is actually making LeBron James relevant is piggybacking on Michael Jordan. And like, they're not comparable, and yet they're constantly being compared. And yes, we're guilty, except that we're guilty basically making the point that he shouldn't even be in the conversation. I'm never, ever am I going to say, hey, look, LeBron's a distant number 2. No, LeBron's a distant number fucking 50.
I don't like when they not to cut you off. I hate when they even try to compare him to Magic Johnson. Every team LeBron was on, he lead the team in points. Yep. Magic Johnson to have more assists than field goals and have a crazy win percentage. It's like it's certain players you can't compare, like, and then people got to stop listening to all these clutch sports people that be getting these paychecks following these dumb narratives, man.
Well, that's what they
I agree
do
with
is
everything
because
y'all be
he's
saying. Like,
pass first player. So now every time he scores, well, he's doing a little bit extra, right? I have a theory that if and when the Chiefs win, I can't say I'm not a Chiefs fan, you're going to see a bunch of Patrick Mahomes GOAT strive for greatness hashtags. I promise you. You will
oh
see
no.
LeBron try to align himself to Patrick Mahomes, just like he watch. What time is it? It's 1:58 Eastern. Watch.
But yeah, man, they gotta cut the
But remember when
off,
Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl last season, they were calling him the Michael Jordan of football. So they won't even compare him to LeBron James. They're always going to compare him because Michael Jordan will always be the standard.
No, it'll be the reverse. It'll be the reverse. It'll be him comparing himself to Mahomes, not Mahomes. Nobody in the NFL compares himself to LeBron James when it comes to greatness, unless they're like 19.
Yeah, but like he got too many tangibles, man. And then, like I said, when people watch TV, like people don't even understand. Some people be like people as haters. This is real media. Like this is people not being biased. Like, feel me? Like a lot of people, like I said, the TV will show you like, oh yeah, he's doing this and that. And we know when broke back AD is carrying the team for these many years, man. And then now you got Luka over there. And Luka gonna be bald headed like Hogan before he leave LA. LeBron's still there. I'm telling you. But y'all gentlemen, enjoy y'all stream, man. I'm at work, man. I gotta get up out of here, you heard?
All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate you.
Easy.
Thanks for hosting.
Yo, Wavy,
my favorite part of this stream is
thank you to Wavy for calling up
30 seconds after it's been told. It's just funny. That's just funny. That's all.
Yo, I want to. We're gonna get ready to end this stream. I want to thank everybody, and I want to say I'm sorry and forgive me, everybody in the chat, all the supporters. Speam, AOH, forgive me for my connection. I know it's been a kind of a headache with the delay, and I don't know if I'm getting my points across. I haven't had the same energy for you guys. I feel like I haven't been the best version of myself. I haven't put my best foot forward on this live stream. So forgive me, everybody out there. But I still showed up. You know what I'm saying? We didn't load manage. We still gave the effort. We still made it through it. So thanks to everybody out there. But I want to read off a couple of quick super chats I might have missed. We got one here from what is this here? King Speech Row. He says LeBron would have gotten Phil Jackson traded. I agree with that. He absolutely would have gotten Phil Jackson Phil Jackson fired. We all know that would have been the truth. He would have got Sky Pippen traded. We got another one here from Mick Zuggins. Viewership down 80% from MJ's last season. So no, they're not watching the games. Audience load managing too. NFL's up over the same period, interestingly. Yeah, that's the funny thing we talk about. People try to make excuses for the NBA's viewership by saying people are streaming it or they're not paying for cable and people don't have TVs anymore. But the viewership is up in other entities. Even the WNBA had a rise in viewership just last season. And like we talk about, the NFL continues to rise and rise. Even soccer has been becoming more and more popular in America. When, years ago, like I said, when I was growing up, you didn't even think about playing soccer if you were a guy in America, man. You were too busy with the other sports, man. So, yeah, it's funny when we talk about those things. So before we go, you guys want to say anything? Speam, you got anything you want to say, man?
No, I just appreciate you having me on your platform. I appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, like Robin said, he didn't load manage. He played with a broken leg today and still scored. He still brought you 20 points. He didn't get 40, but he still played.
Oh God. Yeah. So like I said, it was a great show. I know it was a little bit glitchy here and there, but a lot of people came through, man. Like I said, we had over like 400 and some people at one point watching us at one point in time here. You guys have been active in the comment section, as you guys always are. You guys are always supporting us, for real, man. Everyone out there, man, we really do appreciate it, man. It's truly humbling. On behalf of Dart, my man Scap, Nick, NMB Sports, my man Hoop God, everyone that usually comes through, my man Speam, the czar of the video footage. I'm your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants. You guys know the deal, man. We will catch you guys on the next one. And we want to thank you guys once again, man, for another great show. You guys be good out there. Everybody enjoy that Super Bowl.
Thanks, everybody.